Welcome to this evening's Sounding of Retreat at Horse Guards. The video that you're about to see records a very contemporary regiment, and it will give you a feel for what the regiment has achieved in its first decade of service. It's a regiment that is composed of 5 regular battalions, and the video clearly shows the opportunity that exists in them. It has 2 reserve battalions, which have a very close relationship with our regular battalions. Indeed, they're paired in terms of the way they deliver their capability. You'll see some of the operations that the regiment has been involved in, particularly in Afghanistan. And you'll also get a feel for the very close connection that we have with our veterans and with the communities whence the regiment is drawn. For while we are a national regiment, we are also a regiment that has a very close linkage with the districts, regions, counties whence our forming regiments were drawn. You'll see much of our cadets in the video. We're very proud of our cadet movement and the linkage that our regulars and reserves have to the cadet movement. And finally, you'll get a feel for what really matters this evening, and that is the bugle. For that is how we have traditionally communicated on the battlefield, and that will come forth in this video.
Descendants of Zeus, rubber pom pom, rubber pom pom, rubber pom pom, all rifle salute.
I joined the Rifles because I was looking for a sense of adventure. I was looking to join a regiment that was at the cutting edge of the modern army, and I was looking to play lots of sport, go to lots of places and be around like-minded people.
Since I've joined the Rifles, I've been on operations to both Afghanistan and Iraq. I've been on exercises across the world in countries such as Belize, Canada, France, Germany, Cyprus, and I've had opportunities to meet various different types of people and really get a huge amount out of the army.
We've recently returned from a large exercise in Kenya, 6 weeks training in the middle of nowhere, which was great fun and really demanding. We're about to send a company group and battalion headquarters out to Romania. We're preparing to send troops to the Falkland Islands for a couple of months. We're conducting counter-poaching tasks in Gabon, and at the same time we're preparing for an imminent deployment on UN operations.
Join the Rifles because I believe that they're the heart and soul of the infantry. The fact that you don't have a desk job and it's so unpredictable and exciting. To be a good rifleman, you need a good sense of humour, a good sense of crack, for in the face of adversity you can carry on with a smile. The fact that you're willing to push yourself to new limits constantly.
I've learned loads of skills. Discipline being up there, because before I joined the army, I can imagine most of us were little terrorists. Confidence, working as a team, by far, I'll fit right in anywhere.
If they apply a positive attitude into everything they do, whether that's fitness, whether that's soldiering or marksmanship, then the rest of it will fall into place and they will learn with that right attitude.
Pretty central to the regiment, to the Rifles, is the quality of the young officers we recruit. We need young people who really want to care for the soldiers under their command and who have a burning passion to find talent where it lies and to make absolutely the most of that talent they possibly can. We want people who are going to contribute to the fabric of the regiment, people who have a hinterland, I suppose, people who have some interests and skills outside the narrow lane of the army. There's a nice old phrase that, genius and good ideas is not the preserve of the officer's mess. And I think we want officers and senior NCOs and warrant officers who think that they want to be getting many of the answers from the rifleman.
We understand that good ideas don't have rank.
You can make your own mistakes instead of being told what to do, so you're kind of like an independent person.
I love the way that the riflemen do their business. They're thinking men. I can count on them to give me their opinion. They don't just fall into line and follow the chain of command. Every rifleman thinks for himself.
Shooting is such a key skill for all soldiers, and it's something that we in the Rifles particularly pride ourselves on.
Sniping is very important to us. Our history for many years has been about getting in front of the main body and finding out what the enemy is doing. We're looking at ways of reinventing that with modern technology to make sure that we safeguard that historical ethos and tradition.
Everything I am today is because I joined the reserves. The reserves have given me some great opportunities. I've just come back from a Askari storm in Kenya, where I had the extraordinary privilege of leading a platoon on live fire attacks into the sunken village system that they had there, and working integrated with 2 rifles, which was an amazing opportunity.
The reserves gave me the opportunity to set up my own company. I used my bounty, whole £1,000. I used my qualification as a physical training instructor to set up the UK's first outdoor fitness company.
So once you've navigated yourself through difficult terrain and you've fought through complex battle situations where things are changing and you're having to manage riflemen and manage changing situations, when you then return to doing your daily job and something happens, like a train breaks down or your cameraman doesn't turn up, you're much more capable of dealing with those challenges in a reasoned and capable fashion.
Joining the reserves gives yourself a confidence, team spirit, the ability to look after others, and the importance of looking after others as they will look after you, and just generally that sort of camaraderie that you get when you're all in the same ditch in the rain together and you can have a laugh about it.
I'd thoroughly recommend the reserves for anybody that's got a sense of adventure, likes a challenge and has a sense of humour. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time in 7 Rifles.
They've got the appetite and the desire to be a rifleman, and again, because they've got that positive mental attitude, when they go on tour or an exercise with the regulars, because they want to be there, then they've got something to offer.
When you go on operations, your training really does kick in. Going on operations is not all good. There are good times, there are some very, very bad times. But having the pride and the knowledge that you are helping to do something that not anyone else can do is wholly satisfying.
You join the army as a young man to travel the world, you know, to go on operations, and I've been fortunate enough to serve in a generation where we've done that. And in my early days, we did Northern Ireland, the Balkans, Sierra Leone, and then the last 10 years, obviously dominated by Iraq and Afghanistan. So that's definitely something that when I eventually leave the army, that I'll never forget, and I'll take that with me. That it was the best and worst times I've been in the infantry.
Well, my very first operation was in Northern Ireland. It was a great excitement as a young soldier. And I would say that excitement is still there. It doesn't matter what rank you are or how old an individual is, we still get the buzz being with the most junior soldiers, either riflemen, to the most senior soldiers with the battalion, either commanding officer.
To coin a phrase, it's all about doing extraordinary things with ordinary people, and that's the thing that makes riflemen unique.
Spent about four months out in Afghanistan before walking on the wrong bit of ground and ended up getting injured. What's been wonderful to see is that the Rifles have continued to support myself and everyone who leaves the Rifles continues to have that link back into the regiment.
I joined the army in 2007. First I went to my battalion, which was in Northern Ireland. Then there was a deployment to Afghanistan, which was Herrick 10, the beginning of 2009. From there, unfortunately, I never made it back all in one piece, and I was injured. From there, I went on to complete marathons, Olympic-sized triathlons, half marathons. All this is done in camouflage tutu and a bit of war paint to scare the natives.
Even when you are a casualty, even when you are out of the army, you are never out of the Rifles. It is a family that will be with you for life.
I personally believe that I would have suffered a lot more if it wasn't for, i.e. care for casualties, having the support of the regiment, the battalions, the men that surround themselves once they get a wounded man, you know.
I've started doing a little bit of skeleton bobsleigh on the Paralympic side. I fully recommend it to anyone, whether you've got 2 legs or no legs. It's equally exhilarating, I suppose.
The Rifles have been having a connection with Newham since about 1859, I think this. So it's a fairly long connection. And what they are to us is an exemplar to our community. When we ask people to put themselves in harm's way, it's important we understand they're in our community. They're not somebody from somewhere else. They're part of us and they're part of our community. And we need to understand that so we understand the significance of some of the things. When we ask them to do things, it helps us to better understand the significance of what we're asking.
So I joined in 2005. and I served until 2010. Having been a rifleman, I think there are two key attributes that really helped me in the world outside. The first of those was taking responsibility, which sounds incredibly simple when you're in the army, but outside the army you'll be astonished by how few people are prepared to step up. And secondly, teamwork, which sounds incredibly obvious again, but actually it's one of those things that needs to be built.
My time in the Rifles, a lot of the time, has been high-pressured operations, where you have to really be a master of critical thinking. And in a complex context like South Sudan, I've had to use those skills on numerous occasions.
I joined the cadets about 3 years ago now. Best decision. Through the cadets, I've had so many great experiences and I've met so many people, and it's also developed how I am. We're always the strongest characters who know how to say things and how to present themselves.
I love making friends with everyone. I love all the constant opportunities there is to go on camps, to take part in competitions. It's just amazing.
I met so many different people. Still talk to them up until today. It's been like 2 years of friendship, still talk to them.
I think it's one of the most remarkable and influential things I've ever done, really. It's just structured me as a person.
When they come to us, they come sometimes as a laugh or their mates bring them along. But within a very short time, you see such a change in their bearing. And by the time they finish their 4 years with us, they are a real credit, not just to themselves, but to society. And they can go anywhere and hold their own.
When they are leading their peers, giving them advice, mentoring, then you know that you're on the right track. Because these are life skills that will be with them forever.
I've learned how to generally look after myself and survive in the field.
Everyone is just so tight-knit, it's almost like a family.
The Army Cadet Force has a structured syllabus which enables and allows the cadet to actually grow, evolve and develop into confident, young, positive individuals that actually do contribute to society.
Sounding retreat is really important to us because what it shows is that we weren't, when we grew up, born in the sound of the drum. Rather, this was about a bugle.
We have a bugle. Whichever regiment has a bugle, no other regiment has a bugle. That's what distinguishes us.
The bugle horn lives on as our symbol because it is the embodiment of our ethos. It was the mark of the specialist, the skirmisher, the rifleman in the 18th and 19th century. It was something that marks you out as elite and different from the others. That ethos still is very strong with the thinking, fighting riflemen of today.
I'm really looking forward to performing in Horse Guards. It's my first big event, so it should be really good. Yeah.
It's the biggest parade we can do. It's probably the proudest moment in my bugling career. My whole family's going to be there watching me. So obviously I want to impress them, I want to make the regiment proud as well.
From general down to recruit, everybody in the Rifles is ultimately a rifleman first.
I am a rifleman.
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 I am a rifleman.